All right, this is my 2022 Yamaha T7 Tenere, full custom build, lots of parts replaced and modified on it. Not everything's like easily identifiable in photos of what's been done, so just going to do a quick walk around front to back, everything that's been replaced or modified. So starting at the very front, we've got a single disc conversion using a 320mm braking rotor, billet adapter from Moto Swiss, which you can't really see in there, but it's a very nice piece of equipment. Custom wheel set, so obviously I'll run through that when we get to the back as well, but these wheels were built for me by Axiom in, I think they're in New South Wales, could be wrong, but I had these hubs made specifically for this bike, so these aren't an off-the-shelf hub. These are made by Envy in the UK, which I believe is the same company that is Talon, or used to be Talon. So I had these made for me in a machine polish finish, and yeah, like I said, a one-off thing. So I did have to wait quite a while for it, but well and truly worth it. Look cool. Laced to XL rim, heavy-duty stainless spokes. We've gone for a high mount fender. That's a Polysport Supermoto fender. Had to make some custom brackets for the brake lines and the ABS lines. That's all sort of tucked up in there out of the way, but it can be converted back to the standard fender and dual disc pretty easily. Forks, I didn't actually revalve them because the standard valving is pretty close for my weight, but I had the outer legs powder coated in Monaco copper. It's very similar to Kashmir coating, but obviously a fraction of the price. Tires, we've gone for Moto's Tractionator. Can't remember exactly what one it is on the front, but yeah, fairly aggressive front tire. Noisy on the road, but it does have good traction off-road. Radiator, so we've got custom aluminium radiator grille. Up the top here, just a headlight grille, standard sort of cheapy headlight grille, but these normally sit way out here, so I've modified the brackets and got it to sit nice and flush with the headlight itself. Screen is, I've gone the opposite way to most people. We've gone for a short screen, significantly lower than the factory one. Tinted, standard indicators. Exhaust, so the headers are Arrow titanium race headers, no cat. These tuck in way closer to the frame than the standard header pipe system, obviously without the cat. So that meant I had to modify this bash plate because there was a huge gap here. So I've sliced the plate, taken a pie cut out of it on both sides and brought the plate up and in, welded in. I'll put some photos up of that now. So hopefully if I've done my job right, you won't really know that that's been modified, but that has been tucked in significantly, probably about 50 millimeters, 2 inches or so. Brake pedal has been modified. I've changed the angle of the pedal here to try and sort of match more like what you would find on a YZ250. I don't know if it really made much of a difference to pedal feel, to be honest. Yeah, kind of just feels the same, but anyway, it was worth a shot. But at least in doing that, I also got to change the standard ugly rubber tip. I've made it so it's got a bolt-on replaceable tip here, which is just same thing you'd find on a Husky or a KTM. So the foot peg mounts, factory, these are all solid. So I've cut these sections out, obviously machined them out, made them look as smooth as possible. There was a lot of hours in that. Again, no real reason for it other than aesthetics. And then to sand this, because this is a cast finish normally, so this has all been sanded back and polished. Foot pegs, these were originally fastway pegs from a YZ250, but they're normally square. So I've cut sections out here and here, tapered them in, just to make them look a little bit better. Muffler, so we've got an Acra titanium muffler on it. So the full system on this bike is all tire, so it's super light. Sounds pretty good too. I'm not going to start it up here in the shed because it'll sound horrible in here. We've got B&B alley, I don't know what you call it, just a rack, I guess. Smallest one I could get. That comes off pretty easily, and I do take that off off-road stuff, but for being practical on the road, it's actually kind of handy. Deleted the pillion pegs. Got these nice little luggage hooks here. I can't remember what brand they are, but yeah, they're pretty cool. You just run an Oki strap up around to the rack. The engine hangers, these are normally steel and black from the factory. So I've made some out of polished 6mm aluminium plate to kind of tie in with the foot peg mounts there. So, and then that's the reason I went for that polished plate on the back as well, rack on the back as well, just to sort of tie in all the polished stuff, polished hubs. So yeah, just purely for aesthetics, really. We'll come around to the other side. So it doesn't have a store-built tail tidy. I've just modified the standard setup. So the indicators, I've mounted these to this standard plastic piece here. Underneath, that's just been trimmed back. If you know what a standard one looks like, you'll know what I've done there. Number plate mounted to the top. We'll probably go for a smaller number plate if I was keeping it, but that's up to the new owner. Same on this side with the foot peg mounts. This is normally all solid. Same in there. Cast finish, so they've been hollowed out, machined smooth, sanded and polished. Shitloads of hours in that for no real reason, but it does look kind of cool. Polished linkages, shock body, the upper's been polished, and then the outer body has been powder coated the same color as the forks. Ditched the factory from chain guard, just because it's just extra weight. Didn't really need it for the sort of riding I was doing. Front chain guard, this is fabricated out of 6mm alloy plate. Normally a big plastic bulky one there. They just seemed to be like it would just get full of mud. So that's why that's gone. Obviously easily put back on if you want to put it back to standard. Engine hanger again, another one. This was fabricated out of 6mm alloy plate. The standard one is black and steel. Just to tie in with all the other polished aluminium. That's all, really. No other functional reason for it. Charcoal canister's gone. Overflow bottle's gone. Just trying to save some weight. But everything that has been done in a way that it can be put back to standard pretty easily. It's got an airbox in there from Nice CNC. It did seem to make more power and sound a lot better when that was fitted, but for some reason, these airboxes have no rear mount. They just rely on the clamps on the throttle bodies, which to me seems like a recipe for disaster. I thought that will fall off pretty easily. So I'll show you a photo in here in a second. I've just made just a simple mount just to support the airbox, because yeah, before it was just hanging off the rubber boots, which is a bit of a shitty design, I think. Gear shift lever, usually big fat ugly rubber thing. So I just machined this one up on the lathe and nailed it. Just threads on. Pretty simple. Just looks cooler, that's all. So the seat height's been raised 30mm. So I've added a new piece of foam under this cover to bring the seat profile up. Try and reprofile it to sit a little bit more like a motocross bike. Standard, these sort of sit way in for comfort on the road, I guess, but that's no good for off-road. So set it so you sit a little bit up higher. But in doing that, I've also added a 40mm lowering link to the linkages, because these bikes normally sit super high at the back. So I've lowered the overall height of the bike and then raised the seat height. So it just changes the sort of whole profile of it just to make it feel a bit more like a dirt bike. Set of Renthal fat bars on it. And that's pretty much it, really. Camel ADV side stand. That's a bit wider for a better footprint on the dirt. And again, the custom rear wheel with that MV hub, same as the front. I'm sure there's probably something I've forgotten, but that sort of gives the gist of it. And yeah, Rivalink front graphics kit. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. All bolt-on stuff. This bike can get put back to standard pretty easily. Oh, the other thing, rear wheel. So gone to a narrower rear wheel than standard. I think, can't remember how wide the standard ones are, but an enduro wheel, so I can run a 140 rear tire on it, as opposed to the big fat one that comes standard. Again, a Moto's rear tire. Just a smaller wheel, handles better in ruddy stuff and off-road. So yeah, that's pretty much covers it. 2022 Yamaha T7. So one more thing I forgot to mention. Obviously, there's significant weight savings on this build just in the exhaust and wheels alone. I haven't weighed the parts that I took off it, but it was noticeable when you ride it, and that was my whole goal with this build. And the reason for not putting crash bars on it and luggage racks and everything that you would normally put on an adventure bike was I just wanted this to be as light as possible and handle as close to a motocross bike or enduro bike as I could get it to. And I got pretty close to that. It still feels big in like heavy, like wallowy sand rollers, but on hard pack stuff and single trail, fire trails, awesome. Great handling bike. So this bike was also featured on bikebound.com. I'll put the link in the description. That probably covers a lot of stuff that I forgot to mention in this video, and I did want to keep this video pretty short. But yeah, apart from that, thanks for watching. This bike's now been sold and is off to its new owner next week.
Wasting time.